Good news, everybody. Matthew here with another episode of Let's Play Guild Wars 2. Alright, it's update day. There is more new content here. I didn't receive any letter in the mail, which is kind of sad. But, you know, there's the little star in the corner. But, of course, whenever there's an update day, there is always new items in the gem store, which we're going to go take a look at here. I want to take my profit from my thing first. So the gem store has, let's see here. I know there's that. Promotions. This right here. Excuse me. Just a little mini. Mortarim Ley Leecher. Don't like it. It looks stupid. I'm not going to bother buying it. There's this, the Wreath of Cooperation. Oh, I want to see what it looks like. Huh. So it's just a helm. It's just the laurel helm. So you look like a Caesar. Oh, there you are. See? Kind of stupid looking. No point in buying it. Other thing is, I believe it's right here. Where is it? Special? Okay, there's utility primers. I remember when the metabolic primer came out, and it made any food you eat last an extra hour or something, or last as long as the primer did. Well, they're doing that with this utility primer now too. So those are some new things that have come up. The other thing that is new that I did not talk about was after you created the back item, there's a pet seed. So the next generation of cultivated seed produced by your own hand to cultivate this new specimen will be better than the last. Plant in the mist-infused clay pot to germinate. We'll take a look at that later because I'm not going to do that now, because that's not that important. And there is, right here, Black Lion Specialist. Of course, they always got new things. So, a Chaos Axe, which, if you remember in the original Guild Wars, the Chaos Axe was a pretty cool looking axe. It was just a glowing battle axe type thing. But now they have a whole set of things. So, a dagger, not that interesting. Focus, they're all pretty pointy. If you noticed. Ooh, the sword. The sword's kind of cool. Great sword. Hammer. They're just glowing something or another, you know? They don't look that... Ooh, I actually kind of like that. Because it looks like a... You know, it looks like a Colt or something. It's kind of a cool item. Most of them are pretty uninspiring, in all honesty. Yeah, they're pretty blah. Yeah, they're not that great.
Goodbye.
Alright, but what we're going to do today is, of course, start the beginning of our story. So let's go ahead and do that. Here in the journal. World leaders are converging for a historic summit in the spreading shadow of Mordor's advance. Can you convince the uneasy allies to cooperate, or will political turmoil spell Tyria's doom? Ooh.
That feels good.
So, oh, now I've got mail once I started the episode. I'm afraid my efforts to get the Queen to the summit haven't gone as smoothly as expected. The Queen has had a situation arise that may prevent her from attending. I'll give you the full details when you arrive, but the short version is someone is spreading rumors that Queen Jenna not only met with Evil Scarlet prior to the Queen's Jubilee celebration, but also conspired to give Scarlet the mechanical watch nights. This, of course, is ridiculous, but the Queen can't leave Divinity's reach until these rumors are squelched. Countess Anissa suggests that I use my intuitive ability to find the cad spreading the rumors and discredit them, but I don't want to do this alone. Will you come help me? So, that means Thank God I'm already in. Where I gotta go?
I'll return the favor.
Oh, right here. Couldn't see it because of the levels. So let's see here.
Eat my dust.
I gotta do this to help Queen Jenna get to the thingy-mabobber. And definitely in the right place, because there's everybody. So let's start this first story. Party politics. Uh-oh. Okay,
Let me catch you up on what's happening. Queen Jenna can't attend the summit because someone has accused her of conspiring with Scarlet. The hearing is the same day. Someone's lying, and we have to figure out who. Soon as we know, we can confront that person and get them to recant their statement. We need to talk to everyone, find clues to the truth, and build evidence to defend the Queen. Once we discover who among them is the mastermind, we'll take action. But be careful. These people are suspicious and sensitive. Say something too blunt or off-putting, and they'll clam up. If we're obviously undermining their plans, they'll have us escorted out of the party, and it will all have been for nothing.
Okay, so I need to get introduced.
Introducing a hero who needs no introduction, the Commander of the Pact, and accompanying the Casimir Meade.
Keep it together, Kaz. You can get through this. Be confident, like Jory.
Casimir, come over here. Don't look so glum. Care for an hors d'oeuvre? Hello, dear Casimir. Don't worry your little face over what the Herald's papers say. You'll always be noble in my eyes.
Countess Anise, that's direct and kind of you to say. I'm afraid I don't feel particularly noble.
Then we must do something about that. Nobility isn't in the blood, as so many believe. It's in your choices. Your return to grace is only a pardon away. If your talent for detecting lies is all you say it is, well, let's just say I'm confident we can convince the Queen your value overrides your father's misfortune.
I only hope to be of some small service, Countess. Oh dear. Okay. Let's start picking apart everything they say. One of these ministers is spreading lies about the Queen.
Don't misunderstand, Countess. I'm certainly grateful to you for purchasing my billet and putting me to work. I'm just not sure I understand the reasoning behind dragging me to this soiree of yours.
I just realized I'm not reading. Careful there, you don't want to get seen getting too friendly with the staff. Why are you here? I'm on the job, bodyguard for a countess. A somewhat more glamorous position than my last, I must say. You mean your position as a prisoner? Yes, and thanks for stating the obvious, painful truth. Technically, I'm still a prisoner. It's just now my bars are lined with velvet. Don't let that fool you, though. I'm definitely not free. The Countess owns you now? That's harsh. I wouldn't say that. More like I'm on loan to her from the prison. As long as I'm a good grunt, she'll keep me with her, and I don't have to go back in the cell. You plan on behaving yourself? Absolutely. I'm no fool. I could be in a much worse situation than this.
Hors d'oeuvre?
I guess you could say I learned my lesson. I know I have a reputation for acting rashly, but those days are behind me. Pardon me if I don't entirely believe you. No party necessary or in a crowd of many watching me like hawks. So far, Countess Anise has treated me with respect. I have no reason to betray her trust. Besides, she amuses me mightily. I'll be at the front of the hunting party if you mess this up. I would expect no less, though I do not believe you might have a hard time catching me again. No offense, attendant. I do believe you might... Oh, God, I need to read these things beforehand. Alrighty.
Oh. He was up ill all last night. I told him not to eat that fourth pie.
How is everything? Oh, I do hope you're enjoying our offerings. Tell me, have you tried our piccata? It's as if Melandru herself kissed it with just a hint of dill.
This is ridiculous. Lord Farron, my old friend.
Avoid anything remotely equestrian. You don't want your guests to enter your foyer and think the balusters are centaurs.
I'm not sure about this.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
Well, you fancy up nicely when you knock the dirt off your boots, although the tough adventurer look suits you.
I'm very
Mind
sorry
you, where
to
the
hear our
ministers,
plans
they're
were
on the
up to your
prowl.
high standards.
Why can't
We
the
imported them
ministers and
direct this
nobles get
morning.
along? You know how that is, my friend. We humans are inscrutable. Turn half the world against us, and we'll still find ways to argue among ourselves. It's all about power, keeping it or acquiring it. Where do you fit in? Oh, me? I'm just here for the delicious desserts and ladies. Eyeing a few of both. I can't quite decide which I'm hungry for. Choose wisely. Too much of either can give you a bellyache. Truer words were never spoken. Have a good time at the party. I might have to try and find these in specific order.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
Oh, someone finally to talk to. You're a busy bee. Does that make you charming or does it make you
I can take
nosy?
that. Thank you.
Charming, I hope. Did you know I dealt the killing blow to Scarlet? No, that was you? I saw her once in the throne room. She was having a quiet talk with the queen. Lucky you. But why is someone of your caliber walking around the party with Casimir Meade? Her family's a bunch of criminals and gamblers. You should perhaps keep your thoughts to yourself. I believe you should mingle with others so others could bask in your glory. Good idea. Okay, so...
This shrimp bisque is fantastic.
Stop right there.
I need another bowl.
I don't care about your dog's new haircut.
That's fair.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
Let's see here. Minister Malula.
Hors d'oeuvre?
Do you think Farron would date a minister? I'm just saying it sounds scandalous. But I love a good scandal. How romantic it would
May I
be.
fill your glass for you?
You're a fan of Farron, huh? Oh yes, I know all of his favorite restaurants, venues, and
I
shops.
can
I
take
even
that.
have the
Thank you.
coveted Farron wall calendar of 1324 AE. Stalker! Scandalous indeed.
May the six watch
I hate
over
hardly.
you.
Sadly, public appearances are part of a minister's job. They have their merits. The food, for example. And the punch. Have you tried it? You're not... But, you're the first decent person I've met here. Say, if you're not busy later. Nope, I'm busy mingling with all the others. Night. Bye. That seems like something I would do in real life. Oh, I'm a horrible person when it comes to dating. Okay, where's another person to talk to?
But I thought for certain it was Minister Wee who attended
No
court the
one's
day
touched the
Scarlet was there.
souffle.
Are you sure?
find Minister Wu. Gentleman
And then he asked me
Snuffles
which
the
pair I
Bear.
wanted, to suggest I couldn't afford both. Why, I should have slapped him on the spot.
It's a pity my wife had to miss the party. She just loves these sorts of things. But work is work. Have you heard the Queen is increasing taxes for landowners? What? I thought only workers pay taxes.
Order.
Why ever would you tax landowners? That's ridiculous. Just a rumor, probably bad information. Don't be ridiculous. Have you been at the punch? Take a moment to cool down. You may offend someone less tolerant of your outrageous allegations. Okay, that was a stretch. I just want to help the Queen. Yes, yes, help the Queen. Help the world. Help everything. That's what you do, right? Just watch where you run that tongue. There are people here who wouldn't hesitate to cut it off. Huh.
How I wish my lovely wife were here.
How long have we been out of the stuffed artichokes?
I wish Anise hadn't
There's
invited
a
the
lot
ministers.
going on.
They make me so uncomfortable. Especially Minister... Excuse me. Are you eavesdropping?
Oh. Oh.
How is everything?
Yes?
I have a vague recollection of what that crazy Silvari
So
walking
good to see you,
in
Minister.
to her audience with the Queen. This was well before the attack on the city, by the way. I still don't know why I noticed her. I was expecting to see Minister Wee's wife here today. Lady Wee, she gets the vapors. Fragile constitution.
Who is that
Poor
brute
dear
who's been
can't keep
looming
up
over
with
the
her husband.
Countess all
Apparently,
week?
neither can
Need to
I.
ask her
I thought
preference
he
on
was in
dessert
court
wine,
today.
but-
Scarlet had an audience with the Queen. Have you seen one? You were attending court that day? No, I was in the foyer. I saw them enter. There weren't many in attendance that day. I remember seeing a farmer with a complaint against his neighbor. He brought his goat along. Insulin. What about... It's the dour look on all their faces, but seriously, it's rather difficult to confuse Mr. Wee with Minister Estel or even Minister Artan. My memory just isn't what it used to be. Which one
How
did
is
you
everything?
confuse, Mr.
Oh, I do hope you're
Mr.
enjoying
Wee
our
with?
offerings.
I saw Estel enter the throne room along with the goat farmer, Minister Artan, and a Silvari. That wretch turned out to be Scarlet, she did. Nice
I
talking.
remember hearing afterward that Scarlet approached the Queen. No one paid any attention back
Tell
then.
me, have you tried
Scarlet
our
was a
concoction?
nobody until
It's
the
as if
Queen's
the landlord
Jubilee.
herself kissed it with just a hint of dill.
So now this is coming together.
You want to talk to me?
You do realize, I'm sure, that it's rude to eavesdrop, were you? No, my lady, I was merely wanting to introduce myself. I'm Matthew Pernick. Oh, I do beg your pardon. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Lady Allison, and my companion here is Lady Brina. Are you enjoying the party? Some of the guests here seem rather tense. I don't think anyone can ignore such a beautiful night as this. Oh, I'm quite sure that some ministers prefer dark nights like this to sunny days. I've met a few of them. How long has it been since you visited our fair city? I return as regularly as I can to visit my friends. She's not lying, but she's being evasive. Try again and press her for more information whenever she... Mr. Codicus, of course. He surrounds himself with intrigue, cloaks, daggers, shadows, all that nasty business. Don't let him look upon you, my dear. Once he has you in your sights, you're doomed. As you said, ministers can be dangerous.
Order.
What am I...
Oh, how quaint.
Isn't that the cat from the
You want to talk to me?
Okay, what is going on here?
Oh, who put that hat on him? Adorable.
Okay, here we are. I'm quite sure that some ministers prefer darkness. Yes, Mr. But he never involves himself directly. He has others, like Estel and Anton. They were awfully talkative with him at the last party.
Of course. Caudicus would be involved in anything
I
that
kind of
undermines
guessed it was
the Queen.
Caudicus right
But
off the bat.
he's not the one accusing her. We have to find that person.
Oh, gods. How did that cat get in here?
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, he's always trying to undermine the Queen. How would anyone think it'd be anything different, honestly?
Is this a party or a circus?
Okay, let's see. Can I do anything here?
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
Skip the small talk.
I can take that. Thank you.
Huh. I believe so. I spent most of the time behind my handkerchief. The goat, or maybe it was the farmer, smelled so badly it made my eyes water. I see. My mind is spinning so much information. Can you make heads or tails of it? I learned a few things. First, we know who was in court that day. Yes, a farmer with a goat, 2 ministers, Estel and Arton, and Scarlet. And we know that Caudicus lets others do his dirty work for him. We've also heard that both Estel and Arton have seen Caudicus lately. It must be one of them. Let's talk to Minister Arton first. Where's he at? Oh, up there.
May I fill your glass for you?
This is like boring.
So distracted, Countess.
It's
what are you looking
interesting.
for in this crowd?
I can take that. Thank you.
I mean, it's a great story, but it's kind of
search.
boring to do all this.
If there's nothing in particular you need me to do,
I told my old friend Caudicus the other day, we really must do something about these bandits. They are a hazard. I have reason to believe they're connected to the White Mantle. Did you see Scarlet the day she had an audience with the Queen? I did. There were 4 of us in the throne room with the Queen. Countess Anise, the guards, and of course it was Scarlet, me, Minister Esther, and some dirty farmer with a goat. And the Queen spoke to Scarlet? Yes, she was polite as always, but the Countess kept whispering in the Queen's ear. It was making us all nervous. Scarlet wanted permission to study with the engineer that designed the watch nights. What did the Queen say? She respectfully declined. Scarlet was the last in line, and the Queen left before there could be more decision. Scarlet tried to say more, but the Queen apologized and hurried out. Anything else? The Safari Scarlet looked livid. She stormed out, shoving the guards out of the way. She was rather frightening, actually. I imagine that's what Countess Nice saw that made her hustle the Queen away. Kaz, does his testimony line up? The description of events matched perfectly what Anise told me. Minister Instant is telling he must not be the one. Interesting. Thank you.
You've convinced me. It looks like Minister Estelle is the one spreading this horrible rumor. Let's keep at it. If we're going to confront her, we'll need serious evidence to back us up.
I know for a fact that the Queen had a private talk with Scarlet. How? Everyone is saying it, so it must be true.
Waiter! Oh, pardon me.
Hello, we're all just discussing how horrible it is the Queen betrayed us all.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
That's just a bad rumor, a lie. No, it's not. I saw her in the Selma district shortly after nightfall. She wore a black woolen coat with the hood up. The only reason I knew it was her because I bumped into her and saw her face. You
May
don't
I fill your
say.
glass for you?
Oh, the audacity. Where are your manners?
Guards, please escort these scandal mongers to the gates.
Oh no! This isn't what was supposed to happen.
Huh. Interesting. So now I gotta redo all this.
You must be mistaken. My niece knows a guard who heard from a doorman that the Queen...
I know for a fact the Queen had a private talk with Scarlet. How? Everyone is saying it's what must be true.
Tell me, have you tried out It was if the landlord herself kissed it with something.
Listen, just between you and me, I may not be telling the exact truth. But they offered me a lot of gold if I say I was there. Please, you can't tell anyone. You're gonna have to testify. Alright, I'll testify that I was paid to lie, but I'll never say who paid me. I don't betray old friends. Still, I wasn't comfortable lying, but my son is ill. I hope the Queen will forgive me. You're doing the right
Good
thing.
observation. I had a feeling she was lying. The Queen wouldn't hold a private meeting with just anyone, much less a Sylvari with no political connections. This woman will testify.
I'm very sorry to hear our clams weren't up to your high
Good to meet you.
We
Oh,
ordered them directly
Hors
this
d'oeuvre?
morning.
You're you, Matthew Pernack. You're well known in these parts. The Queen recently mentioned you were hosting a summit. She'd very much like to attend.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
It's my hope that she will. It's about the Elder Dragons, is it? Okay.
How can I help?
That may be complicated.
Assure you that the
I know
responsible
these...
for this will be dealt with.
Those lies Elise is spreading. Can you imagine our barefoot queen sulking through the streets at night in disguise? It's laughable.
I can take that. Thank you.
You're silly as a liar. That night, Her Majesty didn't retire until late. She had a visitor. It wasn't Scarlet. It was a Char emissary. They're working on
Countess
terms.
Elise hardly ever lets the Queen out of her sight. She and the guard will
Okay.
corroborate the Queen's alibi.
On him. Adorable.
Means I gotta come back over here again, don't I?
I expected you to approach.
I was telling my old friend, the White Mantle, but the White Mantle have been gone for ages.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
They're certainly no longer the force they were a couple hundred years ago, but I've seen their symbol in unexpected places. I believe they run the black market around here. That's an interesting theory.
And you are...
Okay, so I gotta come back over this way.
Is this a party or a circus?
Hello, Busy Bee. I must admit, I'm a bit charmed by how you flirt from flower to flower. I've learned a few things about you. Are you sure it's the right time? I don't think we have all the information. Never mind, we'll be back. Okay, so... Alright, ArenaNet, what am I supposed to do?
I don't do donations.
May the six watch over you.
Man.
May I take your glass? If you're
You
finished.
seem distracted, Countess.
Careful,
What are you
Order.
looking for in this crowd? I could lend my eyes and ears to your search. If there's nothing in particular you need me to do, would you mind if I help myself to some of your refreshments? Am I really so dull?
Glass for you?
Well, here's something interesting. Would you like to know how long a severed head remains conscious? I suppose not. Do let me know if you need me to do more than make debutantes and fops
I don't care
uncomfortable.
much for... Still, she has a brassness to her. I'm not surprised she'd turn out queen. Now we have to find some evidence to describe it. Like before eavesdropping and rumor and all that? Okay, I'm ready to go. So, looks like all I gotta do is just kind of sit there and listen. I gotta try and eavesdrop.
Is lying a prerequisite
Yeah,
for
for
being
murder?
in the ministry?
Oh! Here we go. It makes me sad to think that people who run our city, our
I can
kingdom,
take
can't
that.
get along with
Thank
each
you.
other. Now, one of the ministers is spreading lies about the queen. I've had some experience with ministers, not all are bad. Well, no. That's generous, but I have nothing to say. I'm employed by...
Greetings.
I've had some experience with ministers. Not all are bad. Both my wife and I work for the ministers. They could be night and day. My wife works for Minister Estel. I work for Minister Arton. Do you like your jobs? Most days, my wife is having a harder time. Her minister has a gambling problem. If she's winning, she's fine. If she's not, she's dangerous. Would she know where Estel was the night of the alleged meeting? Maybe. Estel often visits her own friend, Lady Claire, in the evening. Ask my wife if she knows what happened. She's a good woman and won't lie to protect the minister. Thank you for the information. You're a good friend.
That's another witness who can help us prove the Queen's innocence. Nicely done.
So good to see you, Minister.
What do you think? Do we have enough evidence? Plenty. Maybe the threat of her testifying will be enough to shut this down. We have multiple witnesses say the Queen turned down Scarlet's request. I can't believe that Scarlet wanted to study with the Watch Night engineer. Thank the gods the Queen turned her down. Though they might explain Scarlet's anger when she attacked our city. What else? We know Estel's friend was lying for her. For a pouch of gold, you mean? Estel must have coached Lady Claire. I can't imagine it'd be too hard to get her to testify to lie. I guess they weren't such good friends after all. We're ready to confront Estel with the evidence.
Looks like we've got everything we need. Time to expose Minister Estelle for the liar she is.
Gentlemen, please leave. I see you've been busy socializing with the guests.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
What?
I know all about you. Listen closely to what Estel says. Once she's finished, don't be afraid to ask her to repeat
I can take
what
that.
she said.
Thank you.
Press her only when you're certain I have a question. Is it true you work closely with Lord Codicus? I used to work with Lord Crass, but now I'm considering retirement. I must have been spending most of my time in the ministry library. I hardly see him. Tell me more. Admittedly, I occasionally do small tasks for him, but he's still recovering from that awful scandal. Keeps to himself most of the time. Tell me more. Even at parties, Lord Codicus is off doing his own thing, and I'm left to my own devices. I'm a wallflower, really. Casimir, what do you think? She keeps backpedaling. Press her when she lies, and then present your evidence to counter her arguments. Can you repeat that? I used to work with Lord Codicus, but now I'm considering retirement. I've been spending most of my time in the ministry library. I hardly ever see him. That's not what I've heard. Why would I lie about something like that? He's my boss's boss. I don't work directly with him. I met someone who says you see Codicus often. Admittedly, I occasionally do small tasks for him, but he's still recovering from that awful scandal. It keeps to him. You attended his garden party not long ago. Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten that. There was a large crowd there. I only saw the minister from across the roses. I heard there was only a handful of people there. Yes, even at parties, Lord Codicus is off doing his own thing. I'm really left to my own devices. I'm just a wallflower, really. Shy, huh? Oh yes, I barely spoke with anyone during that entire party. Beautiful garden, though. The witness said you had an aside with Codicus. He talked to you. You nodded. Fine, he and I talked, but you never learned the topic of what the discussion. You can't prove it had anything to do with the Queen. I don't have to prove it. I just have to discredit you.
So perhaps I misspoke. Apologies. I shall revise my statement.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
So what if I work with Lord Codicus? It means nothing. Doesn't change the fact that I was there when Scarlet had her audience with the Queen.
I can take
Did you hear
that.
what the Queen
Thank you.
discussed with Scarlet? No, they spoke too quietly, like schoolgirl friends whispering. No one else could hear. Tell me more. It must have been lost in my own thoughts while the Queen... Tell me more. I heard the word watch nights. Tell me more. Isn't that bad enough? Do you know how many people die because the Queen gave Scarlet access to the watch nights? Why? Can you repeat that? No, they spoke too quietly. That's a lie. You heard everything. I heard hushed words. I couldn't make out any of them. The Queen seemed pleased, though. Minister Arton heard anything. His ears must be better than yours. I must have been lost in my own thoughts. I heard the Queen was escorted out for her safety. You weren't there. You can't possibly know how they behaved unless you question the goat. I spoke with Arton. His version agrees with the Countess and the goats. Well, yes, one person's politeness is another person's.
Aren't you the nosy one? If you must know, I'll tell you what really happened. What?
It doesn't matter what happened in the throne room. The Queen agreed to meet Scarlet later that evening. She didn't want any of us to hear them, so she sneaked out. You're sticking by the claim that they arranged this in the throne room. Absolutely, their foreheads were practically touching. They were so chummy, they agreed to something. What else could it be? Tell me more. It was brief. A look, a smile. Maybe it was they already arranged a meeting later. I don't know. All I know is I saw them under the bridge. It was Queen and Scarlet. I'm not the only one who saw her. There was another witness who came forward, a noble one. Tell me more. Why are you working so hard just to protect Queen Jenna? She sold us all out, and now she's trying to cover her tracks. It was definitely Jenna, in a red cape. Minister Ennistle, can you repeat that? Absolutely. Their foreheads were practically touching. They were so chummy. They agreed to something. What else could it be? You're crazy. Anise would never let Scarlet get that close to the
Care
Queen.
for an hors d'oeuvre?
Oh, yeah, she was on it, too. All smiles and pet this, pet that. Minister Alton describes a very different atmosphere. It was brief. A look, a smile. Maybe they already arranged
I can
to
take
meet
that.
later.
Thank you.
I don't know. All I know is I saw them under the bridge. It was Screaming Scarlet. Impossible. What time did you see them? Later, about an hour after dark, they were in the Selma district. I caught sight of the Queen's profile and nearly fainted. Why would she endanger herself? The Queen was in an office with a Char embassy at that time. I'm not the only one who saw her. There was... How many other witnesses do you have in your pocket? Oh, shoot. Well, I failed that, didn't I?
I thought maybe some well-placed bombs.
All this kind of stuff. I do not. You're sticking by the claim they arranged this in the throne room. Absolutely. Okay, let's see here. Everyone knows we're in school together. It's no secret, but she and I haven't... Someone paid her a lie, and I suspect it was you. Why are you working so hard? You told your accomplice to say it was a black cape. No, it was a red cape. Have you forgotten? You're trying to confuse me. It's a red cape. I'm sure of it. Dark red. If you and your friend can't agree on the color of the Queen's cape... Wait, I remember now. The Queen was in a black cape. Yes, Countess Anise was in a red one. Did I forget to mention they were both there? You know, the Countess wouldn't let the Queen go anywhere alone. You're saying Countess Anise was there too? What? Clearly, we need to discuss this further.
This way.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
I think we're done here.
We have to eliminate any doubt at all that there's even the smallest chance that Elise is telling the truth. She's not, but we need to hear Anise say that she wasn't under the bridge. I'm sure I've sensed there was some kind of mesmer cover-up, don't you think? It doesn't matter. I know if the Countess is lying when we ask her. Let's go.
Eat my dust!
Yeah.
Stop. Don't approach
Order.
her. It's an illusion. I am elsewhere. Find me, and we shall talk.
Now what am I doing?
My apologies for the deception, but I must go to unconventional lengths to protect Kryta.
Countess, Minister Estelle is claiming that you were there at this secret meeting. She's implicating you.
Nonsense. I was at no such meeting. I did, however, receive a mysterious message signed only with the initial E. The note said that Estelle was in a bandit gambling parlor when she was supposedly spying on our queen. Reminding her of this will be enough to make her drop her lie, faster than Vern's dignity.
It may have taken me a while.
Eat my dust!
Alrighty, so this is coming to a close, and I have a feeling this is going to be a long episode, which I don't like this.
You again? I hope you're not planning another interrogation. This is a party, if you haven't noticed.
Bam! Bam! I imagine Countess Anise had to lie to cover up her presence at the bridge. It's her word against mine. Actually, Minister, it's several people's word against yours.
Care for an order?
What do you talk about? Has someone said they testified against me? We have witnesses who will support Countess Annie's story. Traitors to the ministry. Traitors. They'll find themselves in the streets.
I can take that.
I doubt it. The
Thank
Queen
you.
has positions for those who are honest and honorable. There are those of us who go... There are those of us who see through the ministry's lies, and our numbers are growing. Jory would approve. Cass, goodbye, Minister.
I'll have you know I'm very well connected, and
Your connections can't help with this. We know what you've been up to.
What do you mean?
We know you couldn't have witnessed this supposed meeting with Scarlet. We hear you were busy meeting with some lobbyist that day.
Lobbyist? What are you talking about?
So much for subtlety. You were busy gambling with some ruffians.
Keep your voice down. That's a baseless accusation.
Is that so, Minister Estelle? Perhaps you and I should speak privately and sort this little mess out. Please follow my guards. I'll be with you shortly.
Countess Anise, thank you for inviting us to your party. It's been an entertaining and productive evening.
No one is more delighted by your presence than I. With all that socializing and skullduggery, you must be craving the longest of naps. Now that this messy affair is out of the way, I feel fairly certain Queen Jenna will attend your summit. I think Minister Estelle will soon see the value in cooperating with me, rather than rotting in prison for treason. I may have use for her. On a separate note, I do hope you will stay and join the Queen's entourage, Casimir.
You mean travel with the Queen to the summit? I'd be honored.
Yes, I think that's the right play. You will, of course, have time to relay the full details of your father's story at that time.
Oh, I don't think the Queen would be interested in...
Nonsense. Now go. Say pretty things to my guests and enjoy yourselves for the rest of the evening.
You must visit more often. The party shouldn't have been nearly as much fun without you. The Queen sends her gratitude as well. She can now attend your summit. I'll be there as well, though incognito. That's wonderful news. I appreciate your support, Countess. If you have no objections, I believe I will keep our dear Casimir with me for a while. We have much to talk about, don't we, Pet? One last question. You knew Estelle was guilty. Why not just out her? Put simply, I'm much too close to the Queen for my claims to be believable without support. I'd lose much if our dear Jenna were incarcerated, and the ministers know it. That's where you came in. I understand. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Goodbye for now. Political backstabbery. Yeah! Oh boy. So we got a chaos orb.
You can never have too much treasure.
Ah, there you are, Countess. I trust I played my part in your charade this evening.
There, Blossom. You did very well as the sore green thumb at my affair. I'm sure everyone was far too intimidated by your glowering menace to notice it was an illusion standing beside you the whole time.
Yes, I thought you seemed rather vapid.
She was fake the whole time? Interesting. But anyways, this is the first update of the story. This is the first part of the story. It's the first update. So, yeah, I keep saying that over and over again. That's kind of stupid. Anyways, I'm going to call this episode done. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. You can find me online on YouTube at youtube.com/user/MatthewMewP, on Twitter at twitter.com/MatthewMew, and on Facebook at facebook.com/MatthewMew. If you want to play with me or join my guild, contact me via PM in the game at MatthewPernack, MatthemeWPernack. And for more information on my guild, it can be found at theravenscall.info.